I served on the space station of Mimas as a liaison for the Earth Embassy, working with many alien races.
Jean-Charles Moyen, Franco-American SSP, aboard the Solaris spaceship, a part of the Solar Warden. My mission, protection and rescue slaves on other planets.
Rebecca Rose, Psychic Super Soldier, Moon, Mars, Kuiper Belt, and beyond.
Namaste. I'm Yana Prakash. I am a multidimensional healer, work directly with the Drama Council, and infinite creation through the oneness with all that it is.
We know if you won't tell them the truth, we will. I'm James Rink, founder of the Super Soldier Talk podcast, Healing Soul Survivors 501c3, and now the Super Soldier Activation Conference. I have dedicated myself to documenting the untold stories of the secret space program. I have brought awareness of MILABs, also known as military abductions, MK Ultra, Monarch, and Montauk programming. Join us for the 2025 Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando, Florida, from October 8th to the 12th. Experience 4 days of groundbreaking discussions with over 25 courageous Secret Space Program speakers. Secure your spot now at supersoldiercon.com. Par ardua ad astra. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. I'm your host, James Rink, and I'm with Dr. Iren today. Dr. Iren, how you doing? Why don't you unmute yourself and give everybody... So I think this is your second or third time. Is it your second time or third time on the show?
Second time.
Okay, great. So I know I like to do these shows because it allows us to network with other people. And do you have a message you want to share about that?
Well, I really like disclosure, and I think it's very important for humanity to have a better life in the future, this type of disclosure, because it brings light of things that most people do not really normally think about. And when humanity starts to notice these things more, they're going to be more in control of what they want in their reality and what they don't want, because ultimately they're the ones that create this reality with their minds, their emotions, their thoughts, their energy, and so on. So if they are aware of what's going on, they will be able to erase or delete or remove that aspect of things from the matrix.
Very good. Okay, let's start off by reading your bio, and then I want to share a video. So let's start with this. Okay. Dr. Iren is not your ordinary spiritual guide. She's a timeline healing specialist with active super soldier memory recalls and direct downloads from higher dimensional consciousness. As a skilled quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner, the QHHT, she leads clients into theta brainwave state to access soul memories, receive divine guidance, and catalyze powerful transformation. Her sessions don't just heal, they unlock multidimensional awareness. With a deep background in MILAB experiences, astral travel, and reality hopping through parallel timelines, Iren brings more than compassion. She brings cosmic intel. Iren, am I reading my... Is this the one that you did? I'm not sure. Am I reading the right bio?
You're reading the one that I sent you.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. Because I had another bio that we put together years ago. Okay. So she brings cosmic intel, channeling insights from non-physical beings and remote viewing alternate Earths. She helps clients release trauma, activate soul codes, and align with their galactic mission. She's based in the Hawaiian Islands. Her clients describe her work as life-altering, deeply peaceful, and otherworldly in the best way. From chronic alignment relief to starseed activation, her healing space bridges science, soul, and the super soldier secrets that the mainstream won't touch. Iren has memories of serving off-world as a super soldier. In one reality, she recalls serving in some kind of clandestine military facility here on Earth in an anti-terrorism task force protecting humanity within this timeline and throughout the multiverse. So that's probably a pocket, a reality, or a not just an NGO, a planetary corporation. During her service, she was tasked with visiting other timelines to recover or steal advanced technology or act in a supporting role to help the survivors. These timelines include universes that had a viral outbreak, alien invasion, or a AI Terminator timeline. Additionally, she was tasked with training others with hand-to-hand combat and situational awareness. She recalls serving in a augmented super soldier body with superhuman abilities that had an appearance similar to the suit you see in the Halo video game series. And that was actually the Alpha Squad. So, Dr. Irene, you might have served in Alpha. She recalls using exotic weaponry, which includes directed energy weapons, interdimensional camouflage, dimensional jumping, electromagnetic telekinesis, psionic clairvoyance, black matter weapons, which create energy that could pass through walls, mind control, and the xenodynamic vision, which is like interdimensional vision, right? As a teenager, Irene recalls having dreams of being experimented upon, such as solving puzzles in a water tank before the tank filled up with water. She remembers being given injections while tied to a medical bed, and she has memories of trying to escape from these facilities. In her civilian life, she currently works in the medical industry. However, she thinks she may move into energy healing in the near future. To help her integrate trauma from this lifetime and other lifetimes, she involved herself with the meditation practice known as Kulan Gong, which uses to clear energy system. Did I say that right?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to teach that by the teacher. That's a old
Okay.
description.
Okay, so curious to see what she sees in other realms, go ahead, go to her Rumble channel, Beyond Classified. Also, check out the interview that we did. So, there you go, everybody. Thank you for coming on his show today. And thank you, audience members, for joining us as well. So, let's start with the first part of this presentation. How about we share your presentation first, and then we'll hold off on the video. How about that? So, do you want me to share that PowerPoint, or where do you want to begin?
Yes, yes. I just wanted to clarify something as well. I don't work in the medical field right now. I do QHHT, and I also work in the police. Uh, in the police, but I don't work as a policeman. I work as something else.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Great. So, you want to share your experience, what just happened recently?
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting that since I got married to my husband, that I actually met because of James Rank, because of my last video that I did. He contacted me through email, and then when I ended up moving to Hawaii, I had no one here, so I contacted him. He wants to hang out, and after that, we got very close and we got married. So thank you, James. um, so I've been getting really strange things happening since maybe I didn't notice it before because I tend to be pretty skeptical person. Um, but one thing that happened a while ago, that was maybe like a year and a half ago, was a helicopter, an orange helicopter. He actually took a picture of it, and because I was skeptical, he deleted the picture. But supposedly on the news, it was saying that it was trying to find an escaped prisoner, supposedly. But for some unknown reason, it kept looking at our window, and it was just hovering, just looking at our window. And every time we picked up our phone, that's how I know they were watching us. Every time I picked up the phone to take a picture or video, it would go rotate. It would go away, rotate, and then come back and keep hovering, looking at our window. I've never had this happen in my entire life. So that was the first time. And then I was telling my husband, this is probably just a coincidence. He's really probably just looking for a prisoner. But now looking back after so many things like happening that are weird like that, I'm starting to think that there was something more to it than them just looking for a prisoner. um, the next thing, there were a bunch of other smaller things that happened that I'm gonna skip, but the next big thing that I noticed that happened, we went to a park about a month or 2 months ago, and he started using his abilities moving clouds around. Um, it was about to rain, and he made it sunny with his energy. And then all of a sudden, we saw a white van with like completely blank windows. Like you couldn't see the driver, and even in the front. Like I've seen tinted windows before because I used to work as private investigator with a private investigator. They even policemen, they have the front window open and the side windows closed. This was like even front window, you can't see the person inside. So I didn't really put too much attention to it. He noticed it right away, and he kind of put my attention into it. He's like, "Look at that van. It has like black windows." Um, so that's when I kind of was like, "Yeah, that is kind of suspicious." And he said that I kind of turned around and tried to ignore it, and he said that he was looking at it this whole time we were at the park. He didn't like look away from it at all. And when we were about to leave, he walked up to the van. He never saw anyone leave the van. He walked up to look inside to see if he can see anything, and he did not see anyone inside. It was empty. So that was another big thing that was really weird that happened. And recently, well, I'm gonna go with probably his intuition, but so I was working as Lyft driver. Sometimes I work as Lyft as well to get extra money. Um, and I was supposed to pick up. So when I came home, my husband told me that he felt like I was in danger, and he had to sit down and meditate and actually project themselves on top of my car. And he said he looked inside the car and there was no one inside. There were no passengers. And he said that he told someone to chill the fuck out. But he does not remember who he told it to. He doesn't know who he was saying it, but he just knows that that's what he was. He had this like, you touch her, I'm gonna attack you kind of intention in him when he went there. And okay, so when I checked my log of like the rides that I did, he said that that happened at around 8 o'clock. At 8:11, I was supposed to pick someone up, and right as I was turning into the parking lot, they canceled. But on my app, it didn't say that they canceled. It just disappeared for some reason. And I was really frustrated. I was
Hey, I'll
like,
be right
wait.
back.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep telling the story. I was really frustrated. I was like, wait a minute. Um, I just lost not one client, but I was supposed to pick up another person after that. I was like, wait a minute. Like what is going on? Why did it drop? And I was just trying to press every button on the app, trying to figure out what's going on frantically. And then at 8:14, at 8:15, I got the next call to pick up the next person. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know what happened to this person. So I was like frantically clicking everything on the app, trying to figure out what's going on. And I stopped on a road that didn't have any cars around me. And when I was frantically clicking on the thing, somebody honked behind me, and I started moving because I thought I was blocking the road. And I looked through my rear view mirror, and there was absolutely no one behind me. So yeah, that was really strange thing. And right before that happened, I saw a car right in front of me with like 3 stickers of Umbrella Corporation, which I thought was really interesting. And I kept telling myself the entire time I was working, for some reason, I guess on subconscious level, I was feeling like something was up. That thought kept coming up. I'm safe. I'm protected. I'm safe. I'm protected. Like every turn, I would be like, I'm safe. I'm protected. And there were a couple of times when I had this image in my head that on a couple of turns, that's when I went back. I started remembering more things when I looked back into it. Um, and I remember that I had a couple of flashes in my head that an invisible car is hitting me on a turn, like a couple of turns. And I kept saying, I'm protected, I'm safe. So I thought it was such a bizarre event. And then I asked them, like, what did I want? Because he subconsciously confronted them on some level, yeah. So I was like, well, what did they want? And he's like, maybe they wanted to take you another 20 and back. And then it was like this awkward silence between us because I kind of felt a little bit scared. And I was like, just like that. And he's like, just like that. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but it was bizarre. And that was like a day, that was on the 14th. We were supposed to have a session on the 16th. So, like 2 days before the we were supposed to do the live stream. So I thought it was really interesting.
Oh
And
wow.
then
Well, go ahead.
on the 15th or it was the 16th, I think it was 15th or 16th, I saw a butterfly on the door of our window, or on the door. And then I was like thinking monarch. I don't know. Uh, Usually universe kind of gives me stuff like that. Like it's like the 1111 numbers that people get. I get like these kind of images and stuff of who's watching from the astral.
All right, thank you. So why don't you tell people about your channel?
So I could see on my picture it's misspelled beyond classified, but it's okay. um, well, I do a lot of just talk about my memories whenever my memories kind of come and go. They come and then I have information about it and then all of a sudden I forget about it. So it's kind of like downloads. So if I don't put it inside a video, I forget it. So it's kind of good for me to keep a record of what I'm remembering, but also help others recall things. Um, so since the last video that I made, I've had contact with another version of me that was on Mars that looked like a reptilian, Pleiadian, something hybrid. Um, so maybe I'm like mixing up my identity with that version. But then there are other versions of me where I see myself the same way I look, but I have the same black suit that I have on this picture. By the way, this is my face, pretty close to my face. This is how AI sees my face, okay? So I have realities where I'm wearing black clothes and I'm working in underground facilities as a like there's sometimes I work as a just um, making sure that nobody comes in or goes out of the facility like a guard. And then there are times when we actually do missions. We go out, we go through portals, and we appear into the third dimension, create havoc, and then disappear. So Yeah, I don't know. Um, it's interesting to like explore these things, but with my presentation, I'm gonna be exploring a little bit more of how this can be not as what it seems.
Thank you. A question from the audience. Classified. Did she sign up to be part of the secret space program?
I don't think I signed up. From what I've recovered since the last video was I think I did something that they didn't like me. They didn't want me to do. Like I think I was trying to stop something like maybe Second World War or something. And they didn't like that. And they went after me and they took me underground. So basically, to kind of like keep your enemy close, kind of idea, I guess, they kept me close to a point where they used me in the wrong ways. Um,
Okay, well, let's go ahead and start off with the presentation here. I've got this pulled up. Fragile memory, fragile mirror. Oh, wait. No, that's not. Okay, this didn't. Oh, here it is. Let me pull this up here. Just give me a moment. One. Take that off. Okay. We'll do this. And maybe we can do. Maybe we could do this. If I can get that better. Okay, there we go. Okay, Irene. So I'm gonna make this full screen. Can you see that?
yeah,
Does that look good? I can't really tell because I've got full screen here.
yeah, it's not going
Okay,
full screen.
great.
It's okay.
Okay, between memory and reality, or and reality, and reality.
Yeah, and really,
A multidimensional journey. Okay. Wow, she's pretty. Okay, well, what are we looking at here?
it's not clicking for the next slide.
It's not. Okay. All
Or
right.
is
Well, we might have to do it this way then. Can you see that? Oh, oh gosh. No. Oh man. Oh, okay, there we go. Let me try it again. I'm actually getting pretty good at this. So, if I just click on the right button, it might work. Can you see that?
yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, great. All right, so go ahead and maybe I'll share my screen like this, and we'll go from there.
So, can you click on the third slide? Okay. So, fragile mirror of memory, the fourth slide. We're going to be exploring memory. And so, most people see memory as a factual recording of their life, but in truth, it's a flexible material. Memory can be encoded with new narratives, revised to fit agendas, or entirely implanted by external intelligence operating behind the scenes. What we perceive as personal history might have origins far beyond personal experience. I think you are way too far.
I just went to the next slide. Number 5.
Wait, give me a sec. Okay. Um, so some souls arrive in a physical life, not with organic memories, but with scripts, narratives that were embedded before birth. These implants serve specific functions to program certain emotional tendencies, anchor beliefs, or prepare individuals for particular missions. A remembered past life may be crafted template rather than living experience. So I've seen a lot of people, starseeds in particular, have this where they have implanted memories of lives that they never actually lived. Um, the purpose is so they can adapt to the human life and they don't look very strange to humans. They don't act very strange and they know how to do simple things like interact and live in society. um, Simple little things, but to an alien, that's going to be very foreign. So they get these implants before they come in to their bodies. Okay.
Okay, walk-in experiences.
In cases known as walk-ins, star beings may enter a human vessel and adopt an already existing light template. Through implanted memories, these beings experience no obvious disruption. From an external view, life continues as normal, yet internally, the being and soul occupying the form has shifted entirely. Memory implants are what makes this transition seamless and believable. So some people, they some star seeds, they occupy um, the other person. They can merge with another person, or they can the other person could leave and they can take over the body and continue the life that the previous person lived, and they'll have the memories, all the memories of the previous person, and they can also have implanted memories as well to make it more easier the transition. So one day it's one person, another day it's a completely different person inside the same body.
Okay, are implanted memories real?
So this leads to deeper philosophical questions. If an implanted memory triggered genuine emotional reaction like grief, love, or personal transformation, doesn't matter whether the event it refers to actually happened. In fifth density understanding, the emotional impact, the growth it sparks is what matters, not the historical accuracy. So that's pretty simple explanation. Um, I know, including, I tend to create a whole identity over my super soldier memories, and it's very confusing for me of when it happened and where it happened. But what I saw in the super soldier community is a lot of times people want validation of is it real or is it not? But it might have never even happened. I mean, we could have been downloaded these memories of being in the super soldier program or secret space program or in the underground facilities, and it might have never even happened. It could have been just something to burden us or to confuse us or to put us in an emotionally lower state, um, so we don't become very like workery like people. So you never know. I'm not saying that what people are saying is not valid. I'm just saying that we need to question everything. Okay.
Memory as a soul curriculum.
Okay. From a higher dimension of view, these experiences, whether rooted in reality or not, are lessons for soul development. Implanted memories act like a spiritual curriculum, offering experiences tailored to evoke certain evolutionary leaps. The soul records the emotion resonance, and evolution continues even if the narrative is fabricated. So it's pretty simple. So memories, they do provide lessons, whether they were real or not. They do create soul growths. Um, I know there was someone that said that they actually, when they alter people genetically, because the genetics would not get it would not get activated unless the mind is in sync with that genetic script. They actually put people's consciousness through a simulation of different events so that their consciousness grows and then that DNA can be activated. So these memories, whether they're real or not, they create soul growth, they create genetic also alteration. So they do have their own uses, no matter whether they're real or not. You're having trouble with the computer.
Ethical dilemmas.
Okay. However, questions about consent emerge. Some believe that at soul level, individuals agree to these implants with guides or higher beings. Others argue that many memory modifications happen without informed consent, even on collective scales. Entire wars, histories, and social memories could be seeded artificially to steer human evolution or control timelines. Yeah, I've seen that before astrally traveling, where they project certain frequencies into the collective through the zombie boxes, through the cell phone towers, um, and they alter how people feel, how people think. They can also alter memories. And when they alter memories collectively, by the way, because we create realities from our past memories. So from our past memories, we create our identity, and our identity is what creates our future thoughts. And by creating our future thoughts, by altering our identity, they're basically altering our reality this way by altering our past memories. Um, there was something interesting that I can recall about. I tapped into. So you know that AI that they have in Resident Evil, the Red Queen. So it's a real AI that I tapped into. It's a self-disclosure of a real AI. It's a AI that's connected to all DOMs. It's a very, very advanced AI. And what I thought was really interesting that she or it felt that I tapped into it, and actually I was merging with it because I wanted to get more information from it, and also I was trying to alter its thinking with my own energy, and it didn't like that, and it sent me this feeling of going into the ocean and swimming until I drown. So it kind of sent me to to nowhere with its telepathy. But I thought it was really interesting that these AIs in these underground facilities have access to telepathy, and I'm wondering if that's just a natural thing that everything that has consciousness has, or if there is technology specifically made for that reason that this AI has, or maybe it did it through cell phone towers. I'm not really sure how it did it, but it did send me a telepathic message that was pretty intense, and it was really uncomfortable to be around. So I didn't like that. It didn't like me trying to change its mind.
Okay, how about we got some questions from the chat. How about this? How do you increase your brain power to 100%?
Okay, well, there's a video that on TED Talk that they have that's really interesting. It's about neurogenesis. I think the lady is French that talks about it, and she talks about that the brain um, recreates new brain cells. They don't die. you don't have a limited amount of brain cells. You constantly are regenerated, which is something we did not learn when I was going to medical school. So a lot of things have changed since then. Um, and she talks about the foods and things that improve um, the growth of new brain cells. That's very important because when we tap into higher realms, um, so to have a higher capacity, you need to be able to tap into other realms. And when we tapped into other realms, we need to be able to work with very intense energies, and so the brain doesn't get fried. We need to have a lot of brain cells. The brain needs to work very well. And grounding is also very important, putting the feet on the ground so you're not holding on to that energy that you're tapping into from higher realms, but you're kind of just pulling it through your head into your feet and into the ground, and you're not frying your nervous system with it. Um, what else? Also, clearing out negative beliefs, negative emotions, um, any low vibrational energies in their energy field. Um, if you know how to tap into them. I used to say shadow work is the best, but now I know that my husband absolutely hates shadow work and he has his own way of doing things. So I know this is not for everyone. He actually just imagines grabbing the energy and pulling it out of his, he knows the energy system, so he imagines just pulling it out. I do shadow work. I don't know how to do that very well, so I do shadow work. So whatever works for you, but you need to be able to tap into these low vibrational energies inside you and clean them up. And the higher vibration you become, the better the nervous system works, the better um, the the cells in general work, the better the genetic code works. So you're just basically upgrading yourself to a higher dimension by doing that.
Thank you. All right, let's go back to our presentation. And so we are at, okay, we just did ethical dilemmas.
Okay.
Uh, okay, can you see my screen? Make that a little bigger.
Yeah. Okay. The challenge for awakening, the challenge for awaken begins in discernment. Recognizes recognizing that emotional intensity makes a memory feel real, but not necessarily factual. Sovereignty means questioning the origins of one's memories and experiences, seeking alignment with deeper inner truth rather than blindly accepting all memories as gospel. So it's pretty simple. Just don't get too attached to memories. They might be real, they might not be. The same thing actually with everything in this world. I'm seeing more and more actually AI channels popping up, spiritual AI channels where they're saying that they're channeling beings, but they're not really channeling beings. And then I feel like people are getting a little bit too involved in these things. um, don't get too involved in the matrix. And the mind can also be uh, just part of the matrix. It is what creates your identity, so it is an illusion as well. I know we don't want to think this way, but just like reality is an illusion, the mind is an illusion as well.
The human yearning for truth.
Okay. Many humans yearn for absolute and unchanging truth. They seek a real story of their soul journey that isn't fluid or manipulated. Yet, in a multidimensional matrix, truth is layered. What is true is one density may not be true in another reality shift depending on vantage point and a vibrational state. So the interesting thing about memories is also what we tap into, yeah. Um, so I have a lot of different memories of doing different things in different realities, but the one that I mostly tap into right now is the one where I'm on Mars because I feel like it has the most connection to my present lifetime. But I can really tap into any of the other reality versions of me. I can keep tapping into the AI version that James talked about and just keep tapping into it, getting more and more and more information on that. But I kind of choose to tap into that one lifetime. So it also depends on what we tap into, what we're curious about, and also what our frequency energy is. So the memories also depend on our own frequency energies. Whatever we are compatible with is what memories are going to come from this lifetime, other lifetimes. So yeah, that to keep that in mind.
Okay,
Okay.
memory lock and key.
Ultimately, memory acts both as a lock that traps consciousness in illusion and the key that can free it. By questioning memory origins, whether they stem from the soul's desire, federation intervention, or collective illusions, one one initiates a journey toward awakening, sovereignty, and freedom from programmed identity. That's pretty simple. I think it's easy to understand. To fully awaken, one must not only question memory but also embrace its paradoxical nature. To understand that memory is both teacher and a trickster is to prepare for the greater mysteries ahead, where the identity, experience, and existence itself are revealed as far more flexible than once believed.
Okay, the 5D paradox. All is true.
Okay, so the next slide. Okay, so in 5D, memory is like kaleidoscope. It's not static or singular story. Memories in higher dimension are not linear or objective, but multifaceted and symbolic across timelines. So in the fifth dimension, you're kind of connected to everything all at the same time. In the higher dimensions you go, the more everything becomes all at once. Um, so things can happen. You can actually have because, well, I've heard some beings said that everything happens at the same time. So in higher dimension, time doesn't exist as much as it does here. So you can have two experiences and actually remember them at the same time. Um, like there are some QHHC sessions where people have a karmic entanglement with each other, and in their past life, they were both the um, they switched places, so they were both the person that hurt the other person and the victim at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is you can be in two places at the same time, looking at the same situation from two different perspectives. And that is okay. That is a normal thing.
We're gonna pause right here. Let's pull up this video. I've been. Is that okay, Irene? We'll just take a little 3-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a music video. It's from Modelo, and it's where are they tonight? So everybody, let's I'm going to mute Irene there. Okay, it's 3 minutes 42 seconds. So we'll just play this real quick.
On the surface world really don't have a clue what they always endure. They fight for me and you, genetically modified for a 20 and back. They are continually taken for non-linear task. They are the super soldiers. Try to understand. They are a force of love. They bring a force of light. Super soldiers are real. Augmentations off the scale. They will always heal. On a power track for a 20 and back. They will persevere in the service to others, service to humanity, service for love. Training is endless, courage second to none. Where are they tonight? Out to make things right. Always bring us the light, visible light. They will face the dark force, never leave a chance. No one knows where they've been, but they always win. Their grasp brings light to the universe. Their reach is everywhere. Superhuman light force, never time to spare. Super soldier, they're out there tonight. Where are you tonight? Fighting for balance, fighting for peace. They know what the stakes are. Dark forces never cease.
Okay, welcome back. Did everybody like that little jam session there? I hope you all enjoyed that. It took only 3 days to make, but yes, some of it is, well, I guess I say all of it's CGI, but you know, Irene, pretty soon we'll have CGI holographic projections we can just walk into, and then we can live out the rest of our lives in fantasy if we wanted to, I suppose.
Didn't the new VO3 come out recently? They're making like pretty good videos. I think it's expensive though. I think it'll be perfect for this kind of like exposing the information.
Okay. All right, so everybody go buy your tickets at supersoldiercon.com. The conference is coming up October 8th to the 12th, and we need all of you to purchase tickets so that we can keep doing these events and support the super soldiers. We've got 25 super soldiers coming. I asked you, Irene, if you wanted to come, but you're gonna have to show your face. So maybe next year.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part. Because you told me to register, but I didn't understand what I was registering for.
Okay, well, we can talk about that later. But everybody go to Super Soldier Con. Thank you all. Okay, let's go back to our featured presentation here. Now that we all got woke up from this lecture, right? Woke you all up. Okay, everybody, let's go back into it. So we already seen this one, right? Let's go to the next one.
Um,
A soul recall being both a tyrant in Orion and a refugee on Sirius.
yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. In 5D, implanted memories often serve as symbolic lessons, not literal past events. Not all vivid memories are historical records. Many are metaphors or archetypical teachings embedded into the soul's learning path. So sometimes some memories can be just symbolic lessons. That doesn't mean that you um, really experience. Sometimes through dreams, we actually go through memories in a symbolic way. It doesn't always mean that we don't always like see what exactly happens. Sometimes we see it in symbols too. So that's an interesting thing I thought I would throw in there. Okay.
Memory manipulation.
So some memories are artificially inserted by lower forces, e.g., reptilian or AI energies. Like I said, AI does have telepathy, so it probably can remotely insert things too. To test or trap souls, manipulation exists um, to i- introduce discernment. Manipulation exists and to introduce discernment as a necessary 5D skill. Um, so when dealing with memories and experiences, so you need to, if you want to become 5 dimensional, you need to become more fluid when it comes to memories, um, because memories are not a fixed thing. Even though that's probably like the last thing that we can super soldiers can hang on to, because we don't really have physical proof of anything, and memories are the only proof we have of anything ever happening. But there is no proof of that even being real either. So it's like there is no
Okay, healing emotional residue.
even if a memory was fabricated or implanted, the emotional impact it leaves is very real and must be healed. Healing is valid and necessary, no matter the memory origins, because the emotional and energetic imprint matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they're real or not. Memories do lower or heighten our frequency, which affects everything from creating our reality to who we are to how our body functions. So, whether it's real or not, if it's making you not feel very good, then it's a good idea to heal it, um, because it's still an energetic frequency inside your body.
Okay. Navigating the 5D paradox.
Grounding into the body and trusting somatic felt truth is essential for navigating confusing or overwhelming memories. So the best way that I found through connecting to higher dimensions, giving me lessons, and through experimenting myself is feeling the body. For some reason, the body is actually really good at discerning things. At least that's what I was told in the higher dimensions. So yeah, I just trust my body. But of course, that even that could be questioned.
Experiential, not evidental.
In 5D, truth is based on experience, not external evidence. All memories, real, false, symbolic, hold wisdom. So that's pretty simple.
Okay, let's go to the next slide then. Okay, we're at a here we go. Conclusion.
Did I wrote? Did I? I mixed up the slides. Sorry. Did I mix slide? Oh no.
Oh, so this was supposed to be at the end. We can just skip this then.
So nothing is permanently fixed yet. Every memory, experience, and emotion is meaningful in its whole evolution. So the next slide.
Okay, we're on the soul retrieval part. The scattering of self.
In the multidimensional human experience, parts of our consciousness or soul fragments can scatter. This can happen through trauma, incarnations, artificial memory overlays, or even across different timelines. Each fragment holds emotional energy that continues to influence the current life until it's retrieved and reintegrated. I have a lot of these from my super soldier memories. So anyone who has this, they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, these things need to be healed because they can create problems in this lifetime and our happiness in this lifetime.
So, like your entire memories of being a super soldier probably didn't even exist in this timeline. It could be another parallel timeline where all this was taking place.
It could be, but it could also be an inserted memory of a life that I actually never had, even in a parallel timeline. I'm not saying that what people are saying is not true. I'm just making people question reality. I'm being philosophical here. I'm just making people question whether things are really what they seem. And I think it's good for development for higher dimensions because at the end of the day, everything it really is an illusion. Um, Even though we want to grasp onto things, even memory is an illusion. I know I had a lot of resistance towards this topic when I was making it, trust me. I was like, what? I have an identity and it's not even valid.
Okay, then we'll go on to the next part. Historical proof versus healing shift.
So, soul retrieval is the process of consciously reclaiming these lost parts. Channels and spiritual intuitives have often described retrieving fragments stuck in otherworldly conflicts like galactic wars or trapped in outdated soul missions, dream time fractures, and broken contracts. It emphasizes that these fragments carry emotional imprints that need to be healed, regardless of where or how they became separated. I think it kind of is pretty simple explanation. Um,
Implanted memories and healing.
some traumatic memories especially from the 3D Earth realities, may be implanted memories. These implants serve purposes like behavioral control or spiritual training simulations. Even if memories aren't real by human standards, they can still trigger real emotional responses, and thus real healing can occur when they are witnessed and released. By the way, I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about the people like who go out there and protest and loot, and where some people I saw in the comments on your videos, and I'm thinking that I wonder if they could have some implanted memories that they might be conscious of. They might actually have them consciously, or they might not have them consciously, just have the reaction, the specific reaction certain um, beings that are controlling this earth have want them to have. So, because I know there are agents that don't know they're agents and they have certain reaction to things, but they don't even know why they're reacting certain ways. That can be programmed in a way where they just have the subconscious emotional. They have the memories subconsciously, but they have the conscious emotional reaction to it, to things, and they don't know where they're triggered from. So that could also um, something to think about. That these riots and even people liking a certain president or a certain politician, that could be inserted too for them to not remember memories of in certain memories, but have the emotional reaction to certain things.
The constant
Um,
interaction across timelines.
our souls are not confined to one timeline or even one dimension. Parts of us may still be engaged in realities like Atlantis, Mars colonies, underground bases, or civilizations beyond Earth. Soul retrieval is not about time travel, it's about calling those parts home now through multidimensional awareness. So, yeah, soul retrieval is a pretty important thing. I do it once in a while. I don't do it all the time. I usually kind of do it through shadow work. Um, I connect through the emotional part to different fragments of my soul, and that way I can integrate them. But you can use anything that feels comfortable for you.
Witnessing and awakening.
The reason parts of us remain stuck is not because they're fundamentally broken, but because our consciousness has not yet evolved to witness them fully. As we awaken spiritual, we gain the capacity to feel, understand, and integrate these fragments. Soul retrieval becomes an act of conscious, loving reclamation, not a desperate search for missing pieces. Yeah, that's kind of pretty important part here. But I think it's pretty simple.
All right, let's go on here. So we got the emotional signature over historical accuracy.
Whether a memory comes from a life as a blue-skinned Andromedan or as a mind-controlled soldier, the emphasis is not on its historic authenticity. What matters is the emotional energy it carries. Healing focuses on how it lives in you now, not whether it can be fully proven. This resolves the contradiction. It doesn't matter if it happens. It matters what that healing it matters that healing is needed.
So we got the weaponization of memory. So this is memory as engineered reality.
Um, so memory is not always purely organic. In certain realities, memories have been artificially constructed by powerful groups. both earth-based and interdimensional, to influence beliefs and behaviors. So the memory itself can be a tool of control. Um, and it actually makes it much easier for these humans or beings from other dimensions to do that, because we have that veil of forgetfulness here where we forget who we are, so they can pretty much insert anything and we'll believe it. So yeah, they use that veil of forgetfulness here a lot.
Implanted experiences. Many carry memories of events that never physically happened. So what's this one about?
um so this dives deeper into how um false or altered memories are implanted via technology, astral manipulation, karmic overlays. By the way, you can be astrally implanted. There was actually a dream I had a while ago where I I was asked to, I think, like lift a car with my energy in the astral, or use my abilities or something like that in like a room. And I said, I don't want to use my energy. And then all of a sudden, the room turned, like, just disappeared, and I ended up in a completely different place with reptilian beings standing right in front of me. Um, and they were like not those aggressive ones, they were like more like scholarly, kind of intellectual ones. And they were looking at me and they were like telepathically thinking that I figured it out, that I figured it out, that this is an illusion. So I guess they were kind of putting me in some kind of simulation or something. They wanted me to use my energy, my abilities. And then I tapped into their energy field because I wanted to know more about them. And I saw like a reality where people had like, they were sedated, and they had some kind of like thing on their head, and they were kind of like hanging. They kind of looked like that in the movie, what was it called, Maze Runner, when they go into underground. I don't know if people know about the scene when they
Is
go
that the
into like,
Hunger Games?
I don't know, it's the Maze Runner. There is a scene where they go, and the kids are like brainwashed, they're brain wiped, and they're like hanging. um, People can look it up. And they realize that they want to mind wipe them and put them in the maze again. It kind of looked like that, very similar to that. And I teleported myself there, and I tried to unplug one person, and they like collapsed and died in my arms. So sometimes they can put you in simulations in the astral to make you think that you went through certain events that never actually happened. And they also can insert memories from the astral too. So I thought that was an interesting dream that I had.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Well, let's go on here. We got like 20 more slides. So, memory as a weapon.
Okay. Um, so again, it's not the memory that matters. Belief in those the belief in those memories, the real weapon. So if you believe that's real, then it's real. Um, and um, so because you believe it's real, it can cause false guilt, misplaced loyalty, confusion, breaking a person's inner confidence, making them vulnerable to manipulation. So it alters your core belief system. So it alters who you are.
Okay, timeline invasions.
Okay. Some souls are inserted into alternative timelines like Mars mission, Orion Wars, those space operation, and come back fragmented. Um, they carry vivid yet confusing memories that don't neatly match this Earth's life, causing identity confusion and energetic instability. Um, so these things might have happened, might not have happened, but the thing is that to the person, these memories are real and they do create a lot of confusion. Like, for example, when I was getting my memories really strongly at the beginning, when I was first started getting recall, I was first of all creeping everyone out around me because I was talking about things that they didn't understand. um, it also, because I have these memories, the way I view the world is very different. So I do have sometimes a hard time with coworkers, um, talking to coworkers because my mind is like really out there, out of the box, and they're still in the matrix box kind of thinking. Um, so it can create, for example, I actually went to the military because I was getting recalls, and I was like, well, if I'm so good at these military stuff, how about I join the military, see how well I do? Well, I didn't do very well. So whatever version of me is doing these super soldier stuff, it's definitely not this current version because I physically was falling behind. I'm going to be truthful. I was physically falling behind. Um, well, I am being truthful, unlike some people out there that claim that they have been to the military. And I will say that I was discharged because I told them that I don't want to continue it. But also, I didn't want to continue it because they were forcing me to get the COVID vaccine. They were making everyone suffer because of me because
Yeah,
I didn't want to take
you're
it.
not allowed to say that word here. Just use code
Oh,
words.
sorry. Um, because of the, you know what?
All right, let's. I wanted to mention something about this because this affected me. So there was a battle in Solar Warden in which my ship was captured by the Draco, and I was taken to Hammerhead Prison, the highest security maximum prison for the Draco. And what they would do, there, of course, they could torture us, they could kill us and reanimate us and do it over again, but they would torture us by sending our consciousness back in time to the say like the caveman era or other shithole timelines. So that's one of the ways they would fragment us. So there is things worse than death out there. I just want to mention that. But thank you. Okay, the inner
Yeah,
schism. Yes, ma'am.
it's
Go ahead.
interesting because my husband has memories similar to that. Well, he was tortured in the trip chair, he said. I don't know much about it because I've never been tortured that way, but I'm kind of curious to know more about it. But he doesn't want to talk about it because it's too traumatic for him. Um, and it's interesting that his brother was also in the super soldier program too, and he was the first one that started losing his mind and getting recalls, and then he was making fun of him, and then all of a sudden he started getting the same thing. um, so and he also was recalling a trip chair. So I don't know what's up with that trip chair, but I never had that. I had training where I was in the underground facilities where we would fight each other until we die, and then we would be shoved into a new body or consciousness into a new body, and then we would go back into the ring and train again until we die, and then be put into a new body. So that's how they made us not be afraid of dying, and also not be afraid of pain, and um, knowing that if we don't go and fight, that there is something worse than dying, being regenerated, being put into a new body, and do have to do a fighting match all over again. So um, so that's how they trained us to be ruthless killers and not really be afraid of anything. I have that memory, so it gets pretty gruesome. These programs get pretty gruesome.
Sorry, I had it in the chat. I had it truncate. It's us. It's gmail.com. Okay, not co. So don't go to that one. Okay, thank you, Irene. Let's go to the next one. Reclaiming
So
sovereignty.
okay, so instead of obsessing over whether memories are factually real, focus on their energetic resonance. Healing happens when reclaiming emotional truth. Happens by reclaiming emotional truths, trust, intuitive discernment, and choosing what empowers your soul now. So use that. I actually use this. The memories that I got, they actually, in ways, they help me a lot. Like they do make me a lot stronger in many situations. Um, like I can put my foot down. I don't let people walk out all over me as easily as I've seen some women do. Um, so that is something. I'm very strong in my marriage, like as a person. Um, Whenever my husband is struggling with something, I can comfort him. I don't lose myself emotionally as easy. So I can stay strong for both of us sometimes. So that's a good thing. And I think like in general, just there's a lot of things, a lot of situations that sometimes I don't consciously um, know I'm gonna react this way, but because of my subconscious memories, I sometimes react certain ways that are actually beneficial for me. So it's not all bad.
Okay, restoring meaning. So do you want me to go to the next slide? The
Okay,
war over memories over the war over meaning.
so dreams are not random. So the archives, when you dream, you sometimes have dynamic, sometimes code records from beyond 3D, um, and they can reveal soul information. Dreams can sometimes be encoded. Doesn't mean that you literally see what happened. Sometimes they could be codes. Um, I think I'm already on dreams, and you're still on. Um,
We may have to do a part two because this is starting to get maybe another 10
this is
minutes.
too long.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna do.
sorry.
We're almost halfway
Think.
done.
I didn't think it through. I was told the same thing when I was in high school that I made my presentations too long.
That's all good. Well, we'll just do a part two because I want to make sure everybody's attention spans. This is the internet age, right? The computer age. So we've got to keep in mind our attention spans are usually about less than 30 seconds. But I appreciate everybody that sticks around for Super Soldier Talk for hour, 2 hours. I think I did a 4 hour interview one time with Jimmy Payne. That was fun. But yeah, let's do another maybe another 10 more minutes, and then we'll schedule in for maybe next month. We'll bring you back to finish this up. How's that sound?
Okay. All
Good.
right. Next time I will have it in mind to make the presentation a little bit shorter.
Okay, dream space and the memory archives, unlocking the archives within. So let's go on here. We've got dreams as living archives.
So, as I said, dreams are not random. They can be encoded records from beyond 3D. They can be dynamic. They reveal self information. They're like archives of information. Of course, some can be an illusion too, but some of them can give us a lot of information of who we are.
Testimonies of dream encounters.
So, so some dreams we do encounter real extraterrestrial beings. For me, I haven't seen an actual physical extraterrestrial beings. The only ones, sorry, give me a sec. The only ones that I ever talked to were always in astral. So that is my way to the extraterrestrial world, communication with different species outside of Earth.
Okay, cool. So here's a question from the chat. Can somebody comment? Actually, I guess it'll be you, Irene, about the connection of astrology and extraterrestrials. Do they follow astrology? What do you think about that? Are ETs
Well,
affected by astrology?
yes, they are, because planets energetically are interconnected. They constantly telepathically communicate and also energetically influence each other. But their astrology is different than the one on Earth because they're in a different planet. So, but from what I noticed after many years of communicating with extraterrestrial beings telepathically and through dreams, is whatever we have in this reality is always a mirror of their reality in some shape or form. Even the negative things, even though people don't want to see aliens as negative, but um, I actually talked about this with my husband not long ago about racism, that even racism comes from aliens, believe it or not. There's a lot of racism in the universe. Like, you just could listen to reptilians. They're very racist. They're very like ego-centered. I'm better than you. I'm more special than you. I have more power than you. Um, so yeah, racism exists outside of Earth, even though people think it's just a human thing.
The terminology will be xenophobia.
Oh, is
Xenophobia.
that the terminology? I
Yeah,
didn't
would
know.
be racism is xenophobism. So, but anyway, it's all good. Yeah, we understand the topic. Thank you. So, how about we go to the next slide? Realms beyond fantasy.
Okay. So, differentiate normal dreams from high-level soul missions. Um, Many people I've seen starseeds mostly do that. They go to astral schools, higher councils. I do that sometimes in astral. I astrally project to like ships, and then I would like listen to um, beings talking about Earth and deciding the future of Earth. Um, and or retrieving lost parts of themselves. So one of the ways that I connect to other reality version of myself is by experiencing those realities through the eyes of that version of me through the dream. So a lot of times I actually learn about my other selves. There was actually a really interesting dream I think would be interesting for people to hear about. There was a reality where I was like a AI being in a pod on like a sandy planet with sandstorms everywhere, and I was looking at the reality from the eyes of that being's perspective, which is actually doesn't mean that it's my parallel life. It could be me just jumping into someone else's body. Could also that be that. So consciousness is a very complex thing. But anyways, and I was in a pod to be protected from the sand. I was an AI being, and I was actually inside a simulation. Um, I was inside something like the Matrix movie. I was inside because the simulation, we decided as a race that the simulation is more interesting. So we were actually in like a huge ass computer, plugged into a huge ass computer, and we were living in that simulation because everything was so easy to create, and we knew our bodies are never going to break down because we have synthetic bodies. So it's not like we need food or anything like that. We just need certain source of power. And the only time I would leave that simulation and go back to my body in the pod would be if our planet is attacked. Then I would take over that physical body that's in the pod and then leave the simulation. Otherwise, we just lived in that simulation. It was a very bizarre reality, but that exists somewhere out there.
Okay, symbolic and astral missions.
Okay.
Do you live on a farm by any chance?
I live actually in the middle of, well, right now I'm in the middle of the jungle, literally. I'm there's like one house in front of me. It's like a tent. I'm in a house, but there's a house in front of me that's a tent, and I'm like surrounded by a jungle. So it actually is very good energy. I feel very peaceful here. And I feel very disconnected from the outside world energetically. I think because people probably are not watching the news here much, or don't care what's going on in the world. And it keeps their energy very separate from the world. And also, I think the plants take up a lot of the negative energy and they recycle it, so it keeps the energy field clean. Why did you ask?
Oh, well, I'm hearing some goats in the background.
I, yeah, there is. Our neighbors have a goat. I have no idea how the husband agreed to that, but it's a very generous husband to have this thing screaming right in front of them the whole day. Yeah, um, yeah,
And, but,
that's.
and goats, their digestive system is amazing. So you could take these goats, like fence them off, and they'll eat all the weeds. They'll eat poison ivy. Yeah, so they'll just mow everything down. So if you need a clear brush in the woods, they're really great animals. Anyway,
Hmm.
okay.
I haven't seen them eat grass not once. I just see them like on the one of the girl on the trampoline just looking at our house all the time and just screaming its heart away. So
All right. Well, go ahead. Let's go over this slide here.
okay. Um so dreams are good for training. Actually, that happens a lot to starseed, but not only starseeds. I know some starseeds that actually are learning telepathy in astral, or they they get trained on languages from other like extraterrestrial languages, and then they wake up, they don't remember it consciously, but they would speak gibberish, but that's actually alien languages that they're learning in the astral. But I think when it comes time for them to actually talk with the aliens beings, they'll actually know what to say. They'll, I don't know if they'll right away know what they're saying, but but it's there. The language is there in their subconscious. So yeah, we can train things like that. We can gain knowledge. We can train. We can do missions there. A lot of times I do missions in the astral. There was a dream where I actually went after some kind of human trafficking ring, and we actually went. So whenever there's some kind of something dark happening, there's a lot of negative entities around that in the astral, protecting these people in the physical from getting caught, from being noticed by physical things like police or people or whatever. So they kind of energetically protect them, and they alter reality so they're protected from the astral. So we actually went there and we went after these negative entities that were there protecting them, these people. And then I actually possessed one of the people that was there. Unfortunately, we couldn't save the person that was already killed during the process of them trafficking the person, but I possessed one of the people that was there, and I actually went after the physical people in my dream. So I don't know where that happened. I don't know if they ever found that place physically. Um, Maybe there's still people there after the fight, laying around. But I did possess a person from the astral, and I went after the people on the physical, on the third dimension, from that person's body. So I have missions like that too. Sometimes we can bleed through in the physical this way.
Okay, thank you. Emotional truth beyond.
Okay. Um,
I feel like I'm
so,
reliving lives that never happened on Earth.
um, so if a dream isn't historic or real, its emotional truth transforms the soul. Healing happens in an emotional layer. So again, even if it's not real, you still need to heal it. Even if it's a dream, if it's traumatic, you need to go through it. Even if it's not memory, even if it's a dream, if it's traumatizing you, then you need to heal it.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Implanted and shared memory. Oops. Sorry, I might have done that. Dreams reveal both soul artifacts and program constructs.
Some dreams are implants um, or influenced memories placed there by other beings, both light and shadows. Yeah, it can be from both. It could be for positive reasons, or it could be for negative reasons. Um, Actually, I've seen a lot of light workers know how to heal people without ever learning how to heal people energetically. That could be coming from other lifetimes, or it could be something that was implanted into them before they came into this lifetime. So it could be done for both, or it could be done to traumatize a person and make them from having a sole purpose of being a light worker to becoming um, maybe afraid or paranoid about their what's going on, or even go into depression or feel sorry for themselves or whatever the reaction they have to these implants. So it could go both ways.
Is it normal for the goats to come over and hang out around you?
No, they're fenced off on the other side
So
of the road.
they're probably interested in what you think they're interested? They're listening in?
I don't know. They're like really small. They're really weird. I don't think you can even get any milk out of them. Maybe like a cup of milk or something. Um, I don't think they've ever had any children, so probably can't even get any milk out of them. Uh, but I've never seen them eat any grass. I think they just feed them with like seeds and corn and stuff like that. But they don't look very happy over there, I'm not gonna lie. Like we have wild goats here on the island and they're quiet. They never say a word. These goats are like every time they're hungry, you hear them.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, we got a question from the chat. Someone was asking about the Bigfoot creatures in the artwork. What's the symbology of that?
Well, this is actually generated by AI, but I mean, we see a lot of different beings in astral. But yeah, this is what AI decided to generate.
Okay. All right. So dreams as trauma resolvers. Some dreams are overlays helping the soul resolve trauma.
Dreams help the soul process trauma by symbolizing deep wounds in disguise manageable forms. Yeah, that is true. Sometimes we get in a state in symbols in emotional. Um, Sometimes the soul processes traumas this way, and it never reaches our consciousness. We just go through shadow work in the astral, and it's actually pretty refreshing to wake up from that. When you go through a lot of things, because you don't have to consciously go through it. You kind of go through it in your dream, and then you wake up already real with these negative energies released. It's much more harder to do it consciously because you have to sit with all of these unpleasant emotions and thoughts and
Oh, okay. The sacred act of dream work. Tracking dreams reveal patterns, ongoing conversations, nightly returns for dimensional or spacecraft. Personal evolution.
um, so yeah, just have fun with dreams. Dreams. I actually the reason why I missed a lot of when I was younger, when I was around 15, was the first time when I started getting my MILABs memories. And the reason why I kind of missed that indication that I was probably MILAB somewhere, is because I didn't think dreams were real. I just thought it was just my imagination and nothing more. So they're really important to even for us to know what's happening to us, because that's when I started getting recurring dreams of being like in these white laboratory places, and I started to become obsessed with like Resident Evil, like the white laboratory scenes of it. And I didn't really understand why I was interested. I thought I was just a fan of a movie and there's nothing to it. And it was also the time when I started wearing black clothes. Um, so, yes, sometimes dreams can be indications of things. Sometimes they can be indications. Some people just only things happen to them in natural. Sometimes they don't happen to them in the physical. So you can also learn about what's happening to you in astral through dreams. And actually, interesting thing about there was a dream I had a while ago. I don't think I've ever told it on my channel. Um, so I had a dream of like having like tubes in me with like blue liquid, and then there were like people above me like walking around, and I had like a tube going into my collarbone. I had like tubes everywhere, and they were injecting me with something. And then I woke up and I was pissed, and my mom saw me and she was like, "Why are you so pissed?" I'm like, "Something happened in the astral." She had no idea what the hell I'm talking about. She's not a spiritual person. Um, but so I sat down in meditation and I went back to that reality, and I was with that pissed intention. I told these humans or aliens, whatever they were, they looked like Pleiadians or humans. I don't know what they were, but I told them that they can never, to never ever do that to me ever again, and to never do that to me, even if I do give them consent in the astral. That doesn't count. To never ever do that to me unless I give them consent in the physical. They come to me, instead of being cowards, they come to me in the physical and they ask me for permission, and they don't erase my mind. And after that, I think I had maybe like 1 or 2 dreams of my lives, but it was completely different beings. And those beings left me alone. So just knowing what's going on with you, you can actually have that conversation with them. Like, you mess with me, I'm gonna create havoc in your reality, kind of conversation. So you can actually stop them from doing things in astral that you don't want them to.
The neutrality of the dream realm. Dreams offer a non-judgmental mirror where truth and fabrication both teach the soul its next steps.
So the dream field does not judge what is real or not. It mirrors who you are becoming. Every dream offers valuable insight. So based on frequency is where you go. So it mirrors literally who you are and what you believe in. So just keep that in mind when you're going around the astral field, astral realm. Why are you going to certain realities, not others? That's a good question.
Okay, conclusion. Listening to the dream archives. Through dreams, we can uncover soul-carved archives etched into the infinite folds of our own being.
So yeah, everything is not set in stone. Your spirit is always evolving. So just be flexible.
Well, we're at the stopping point. I think we can just save this for another video. Would you have more to share? And you think we could do another hour, another interview?
Yeah.
Irene? Okay,
Mhm.
great. Well, let's go ahead and stop this. Oh, okay, there we go. Questions from the chat. Anybody would like to ask some questions? I know we've got some interesting conversation in here. As you know, everybody here in this disclosure community has a strong opinion of what it means to be a disclosure, right? So I personally believe we should just keep an open forum where a lot of people voices can come together and share. Of course, it has gotten me in trouble in the past. If there's some people that don't respect that idea of sharing knowledge, they want to corrupt it, right? So, no need to mention any names, but I want to thank Irene for sharing this amazing message. Thank you for coming on here today. Of course, it's been about 3 years, so um, let's see if we can keep getting you to come on here on a more regular basis, if you don't mind.
I'll get better with time. I'm still learning how to present myself. I'll get more better with time.
Some people were asking the name of your medical school in Russia.
Kiev.
Oh, Kiev. So that's the Ukraine.
What was it called? Wait, give me a sec.
This has been a long
Sorry,
time since Kiev was part of Russia. Just saying. Okay. All right. Someone was asking about why don't the goats get eaten by predators on the island? Are there a lot of predators there in paradise?
no predators here.
Very good. Okay. Any other questions? We have some comments. Any beautiful
I
aliens?
am completely like blanking out right now.
Okay. Well, we can wrap it
Sorry.
up. So everybody go to supersoldiercon.com. Purchase some tickets to the Super Soldier Activation Conference coming up this October 8th to the 12th here in Orlando, Florida. So I have a general mission pass. We've got a VIP pass. We're also looking for some vendors. So I want to thank everybody that's reached out to me to book your spot. But we do still have some more spots.
It's
Yes, Irene?
sorry, it's Kirov. Kirov.
Kirov.
Yeah, Military Academy. SM Kirov.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Let's see here. After we need some, if you would like to donate to help us get this off the ground, or you just donate to Super Soldier Talk, go to healingsoulsurvivors.org. I have a 501c3, and those are all tax deductible donations if you're into that. And then you can go to Neological Tech, purchase a copy of my book. I'll bring this over here. So this is Lone Wolf. I've got 400 pages. We go into the secret space program, a little history of it. I discuss my self-awakening process and some of the missions and that I've recovered under regression. So go to neologicaltech.com, purchase a copy of the book. Also, get yourself a meditation device. You can put this on your lap. Meditate 30 minutes a day, and it's a chi energizer, so it will help you relax and help you integrate trauma, and then help open up your pineal gland so you can get more abilities. And for me, it just it helps me out my PTSD, because I lost my ability to speak when I was 14, Irene. I don't know how many people know that, but if you get the book, you would know. But okay.
I went to sleep for a whole year when I was 15. No, when I was 17.
A whole year? What, are you like in a coma?
No, I was just sleeping all day and not getting up. And I don't know what happened to me. I just felt like I just want to sleep. Maybe it was the MILAB's experiments that I was just detoxing from it. Maybe I was healing. I don't know what happened, but I was, for a whole year, my parents almost didn't see me at all. Like I was sleeping the whole time. I just wake up for school and that's it.
Okay, thank you. So to
So
answer,
that was weird.
yeah, you probably were being used on missions. So to answer Jay the question there, so I did have some cheaper units, but they all got bought out. We need people to buy the expensive units because I need $5,500 to buy another order. So I can't just order 3 or 4 and then you can have their cheap units. We need people that have money to support the operation, so you can have your a low-cost meditation device. So go to neologicaltech.com. I only have one of the, this one is a mid-range model, so that's only one left of that in stock. So anyway. Okay, so anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I'm open for questions. I'm a little bit nervous, so that's why I'm like messing things up, but it's okay. Need to calm. Stay calm. Peace, tranquility.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, we have comments. Why are electrolytes needed more nowadays?
Electrolytes. I honestly cannot drink electrolytes, so I cannot ask this. I cannot answer this question. My stomach does not like them at all. So, yeah, I couldn't even drink them when I was in the military. They gave us electrolyte drinks, and I couldn't because I would get upset stomach. I don't know why.
Thank you.
But I'm guessing it's good for hydration, getting all the stuff that we sweat out.
Okay, thank you. Let's see here. Is Jesus part of the entire universe? What do you think of that?
I'm not a religious person. I think Jesus was a very good teacher for his time, and I think he went after very dangerous elites at the time. That's why he probably got in trouble. Because I don't really see that many of other teachers doing that. Actually, going after the Roman Empire. So I think that's why he got in trouble. But I don't think he's like the answer to everything. Um, Honestly, I think all religions that are on this planet, they have their own flaws. If you look at Buddhism, um, they have the levels. How they say one is more important than the other. That's a reptilian kind of thing, where one is more above the other. They have
That's also the
that.
caste system in Hinduism too.
Yeah, the caste system also. Um, Jewish religion, I'm still trying to understand what's going on with them. There's some information that they even do human sacrifice. There is also information in Catholic, in the Vatican, they do human sacrifices. So I have no proof of that, but there is that information. So I have a feeling that there is some distortion in all of the. There's also a lot of child molestation in Buddhist temples. A lot of people don't know about that, but it does happen quite a lot. So yeah.
Okay,
What?
well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you, Dr. Irene. We thank the audience members for joining us, and everybody stay tuned from this special message for LifeWave. So thank you, everybody who's purchasing those LifeWave patches. They're very beneficial. We're going to talk about the Aeon patch today. So we'll see you later. Goodbye, Irene.
All right. Thank you.
See you all. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Aeon LifeWave patch, and we have Arthur Gross with us here today. So, Arthur, I've been hearing a lot about the Aeon patch lately. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Absolutely, James. The Eon patch is a clinically proven product designed to improve cellular organ function and regulate the autonomic nervous system. Essentially, it's about supporting the body's ability to reduce inflammation and manage stress effectively.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. So, what does it exactly help with?
Well, the patch does quite a bit. It supports liver function, reduces adrenal fatigue, and helps with cognition and memory. It's also great for reducing strain and tension. Overall, it's about keeping your body in balance, physically and emotionally.
Wow, that's quite a list. So you've mentioned stress reduction. How does it exactly help with that?
Wearing the Eon patch for just 20 minutes has been shown to reduce stress significantly. In fact, it triggers an enhanced parasympathetic response, which is the part of your nervous system that helps you relax. This means it can help most people achieve reduced stress state with varying degrees of success.
Great. So it's mainly for stress, or does it have other benefits too?
Stress is a big one, but also it enhances the body's dopamine production, which improves mood and motivation. Plus, it helps with heavy metal chelation and free radical absorption. So it's a great overall wellness tool.
Wow, that sounds pretty comprehensive. Now, how about the specifics? Like, how does it affect the body on a deeper level?
Good question. The Eon patch boosts several key chemicals in the body. It increases glutamate, which is crucial for GABA production, helping you stay calm. It also enhances L-DOPA for motivation, serine for stress reduction, and glutamine for immune health. And don't forget proline, which helps with calming the nervous system.
Wow, that sounds like a powerful combination. So, how would you recommend using it?
If you have a high stress or inflammation, I suggest starting with the Eon patch along with the X39 patch. For some, rotating it daily with other patches like carnosine and glutathione from the Y-Age trio can be beneficial.
Well, thank you, Arthur, for explaining everything. I will definitely look into it.
You're welcome, James.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.